Sixers, amazing day. Announcing a long-term extension of my friend Tyrese Maxey. So happy to have him as a cornerstone of our franchise for years to come. And look, since the first day we got to know Tyrese and his family, he's really been an amazing star and asset for the city of Philly. Remember in 2020 it was COVID. And we had this guy way high up on our board, and he started dropping, and we snatched him up. And so from that day on, Tyrese has been a tireless worker and really been driving us forward. And the Maxey family has been an amazing addition to Philly. Even though we get them to come from Dallas, they little bit of mixed loyalty, but not really. Now they're all ours. So anyway. So happy to be sitting here with you, and so happy for the city that we're all together, and really excited about next season. Thank you.
It's very special to have a cornerstone like Tyrese on the 76ers. Basically helps Coach Nurse every night put the fear in the other team as he puts his game plan together. I also want to really thank Tyrese for his patience. This offseason wouldn't have been possible without him. He was very clearly on his way to being what he has become, an all-star, one of the great future stars of this league. And by being patient, he allowed us to put this offseason together to really put us in this position to be one of the very few legitimate contenders in the league this year. So I want to make sure we thank Tyrese for that, and turn it to him.
Okay. I think I'll just start off by saying thank you to both of you, my left and my right. I'm very appreciative of the opportunity that y'all gave me because, this is a lifelong dream, to play in the NBA. Like you said, I dropped a little bit than what you think, where I thought I would go. And for y'all to take a chance on me, I really do appreciate that. It meant a lot to me. And I just want to, keep working extremely hard and, bring a championship and wins to this city. I mean, that's what I've been working on all my life and getting better, 1% better every single day. And now I feel like it's the time that we can just work on that and really build on that. So I really appreciate y'all, and you too, Coach Nurse.
All right, we're gonna open up for questions. We'll start with Gina.
What's up, Tyrese? I actually wanted to ask you about the presentation when you agreed to the deal, the Maxey Museum. First of all, did you have any idea that was percolating, that was happening, and then just what was that like to sort of see all the effort that everybody put in to sort of celebrate you signing this extension?
Yeah, no, I had no idea that was going on, not even a little bit. I was very confused on why that, my entire family, my best friends had to come up to Philly in the middle of, June, randomly. And I was like, okay, y'all want us to, leave Texas and come all the way up there. But, I didn't ask no question. I just kind of did it. I know my mom probably got tired of me asking, why are we going to Philly? Why am I going to Philly? Why am I going to Philly? Why am I going to Philly? And she wouldn't tell me. She knows I really don't like surprises, so it was probably hard for her to not tell me. But it was amazing. I was very appreciative of the moment, just because, this is like my second home now, coming from Dallas. And I'm just very thankful that, the Sixers and, these guys up here took a chance on me, and I got an opportunity to play for this historic franchise and try to go out there and win. I mean, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. And that's why I work tirelessly and, work extremely hard to do. And it's been great.
Daryl and Josh, can you just talk about how that came together from your guys' perspective? What kind of made you guys want to do something like that for him?
Yeah, again, I sort of alluded to it. Tyrese was really the key to this offseason. Without his patience, this wouldn't have been possible. Waiting on, something he deserved a year ago in that extension, and we wanted to show how much we appreciated him just as a player, as a cornerstone of this franchise, and then also his patience. And it was. It just felt like the right thing to do. And also, we wanted, Tyrese to feel that love, from Philadelphia. We really did it for the fans, to Tyrese, and we tried to make sure that was a big part of the presentation was him understanding how much he means to the fans of Philadelphia.
Tim, then Dan.
Tyrese, congrats on the new deal. Daryl's mentioned it a couple times. You were obviously aware over the last year of what was going on and what the weight was, but you mentioned the patience you had to have to sort of let this all play out. I was curious what went through your mind over the last few weeks as this played out the way it did. You guys get Paul, you guys have the team you guys have now and the chance you have next season.
Right. First of all, I appreciate it. Thank you. And second, I think it worked out well. Honestly, when I heard about it, last summer, it's hard. It's a very hard thing to do, especially when you work extremely hard. You work, tirelessly and whatever, and trying to get, the second contract. But when they brought it to me, I understood. You got to be, professional. You got to understand what's going on. You don't have that many opportunities, as a franchise to do something like that. So I understood. Had a lot of conversations with Joel about it last year. And I appreciate him for that too, because he was big in helping me with that. So it was great. It was more calming the people down in front of me. That was the hardest thing to do. No. But making them understand exactly what it meant, cap space and all the different things. But I'm just happy, man. I'm happy that we were kind of able to do what we did this offseason and give us a chance to do something.
Then you mentioned Joel. The Sixers posted a video of your after you signed the contract and about you talking to Joel and about the faith he's put in you from the beginning. You got a little emotional talking about it. I was just curious if you could talk a bit about your relationship with him over the past few years. He's obviously been a big vocal supporter of yours from the beginning, and how much that's meant to you throughout this whole process.
Right. I always said Joel was the first person to believe in me, honestly. I think it's funny because I came into training camp late because of COVID. I had ended up catching COVID right before I got to come. So I was like maybe 2 days late into camp. And like my first day in camp, I was like on the third team. I didn't have a jersey. I had a penny on. And we played like this little pick and roll game, and my group ended up winning. And I talked to Joel afterwards, kind of just messing with him about how we beat them. And he's like, of course, it's training camp, so he's probably not. He wasn't thinking much of it. But he ever since that day, he's had the ultimate faith in me. And then I tell this story all the time too. Like the game that we had the little COVID game against Denver, I saw him walking. We exchanged through the pathways of the locker room coming in. He's like, can you get 40 tonight and get us the W? And me just being, it's my 10th game, and I'm like 40. Dude, I barely had 12, barely played. What do you mean? You want me to get? I really think you can do it. Go out there and do it. And that just kind of just propelled me to being successful. And I've always been a confident guy just because of the work that I put in. But when you have a guy like that in an organization that is confident in you, it really helps you go out there and be yourself.
Tyrese, even in your just 4 years here, you've gone through a lot of, Ben and Tobias and all sorts of guys have come through. Why do you think Paul might be a difference maker that the other guys weren't, and where do you feel like he will help you guys the most?
Yeah, I think shout out to those guys that we've had come through here. Really appreciate them for their service. They were great here, and couldn't ask for better vets and better people to help this franchise while they were here. I think Paul is a guy that can do a lot of different things for us, especially because of already having a guy like Joel Embiid on our team. And with Paul being able to spot up and knock down threes, that's one of the biggest things that you have to be able to do playing on the floor with Joel. That, and then being able to create for himself, create off of Joel. And then he's 6'8", 6'9", a guy who can guard multiple positions. And I think it brings an overall different aspect of the game for us. And we have a really good coach who's going to help us put those pieces together. So we're going to put that on him.
Tyrese, congrats on the new deal.
Appreciate
it. You already brought up the 1% better every day thing. I think a lot of people think of that in terms of how your game has grown, but a lot of people also notice using your voice more, being more of a leader last season. So I guess, what is the next step for you as a leader, as one of the main guys of this franchise look like?
I think the biggest thing that I've been talking to Rico about and Coach Nurse about is being able to drag guys along with me as far as work ethic wise. And I think I'm in a position now where I can kind of help guys. I just use Ricky for example. I've texted him multiple times this summer, hey, come to Dallas or come to LA and let's get some work in. I think that is something that can go a long way, especially when I feel like I've been here for about to be 5 years. It sounds crazy, but I think that's going to help. You know, I mean, that would help me. Like when a couple of times that Joel asked me to work out with him, or when James was here, the couple of times that he asked me to work out with him, that goes a long way for young. I'm young, but younger guys. They really appreciate that, and I really appreciate that. So I think that's one of the biggest things that I'm going to try to do. I was able to, Coach Nurse and Rico and was on me about like using my voice a little bit more last year and like trying to step into that leadership role. And Joel has been on me big time about it. Like you got to use your voice. You working hard every single day. You lead by example, but also you are good at connecting with guys and encouraging guys. I kind of done it all my life, but when I first got here, I was just trying to be a sponge and trying to like learn as much as possible. Still doing that, right now, but I think that's the way I can lead by example.
And then on the basketball side of it, I guess what's the main focus for you in terms of improvement this summer, and how much of it is the mid-range jumper that you had to admit to your dad that you needed a little bit more than you thought you did initially?
Yeah, my dad was in high school and college. I mean not college, high school and middle school. He's always said like, dude, you gotta get an in-between game, like work on your pull-up. He was a big Michael Jordan fan, so Michael Jordan kind of spoiled him with all these one dribble pull-ups and fadeaways and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean I think layups are really good and threes are really good. So it's like those are very high analytically stuff that we need in our game. It just sometimes like when you get in the playoffs and you have to make a shot. Like at the end of the day, basketball is about scoring a basket and being able to make sometimes tough shots. And I think that's just something you need to add to your game, my game for sure. And just getting stronger. I feel like that was one of the biggest things. We have a lot of guys on our team right now that's going to be able to, like switchable. So like I don't want to be a guy that's showing. I will switch as well. So I think that'll make Coach Nurse's job a little bit easier as well.
Let's go to Austin and Lauren.
Tyrese, over here. Congratulations on your extension.
Appreciate it.
Last year when you were asked to be patient, that was sort of to help aid this offseason, of course. But what is it like? Taking that leap of faith in an organization, and for your family, for your representation, for you, when you have a teammate who is publicly saying you can't trust these people to pay you, I guess in a sense.
I mean, it was different for me. I mean, I really trusted them because they took a chance on me. Honestly, like every situation is different, and I was very thankful for that opportunity that they gave me to come here and play for a championship caliber team, early on in my career, taking me at 21 when I feel like I slipped in the draft and I feel like I could have gone higher, but I feel like I found a home here and this is a great place for me. So I understood what the end goal was, and sometimes you have to realize that. And I think that's my parents helped me with that. I helped them understand it, and they kind of helped me understand it. Rich was a big part of that as well. He helped me understand it, and once I understood it, I just put my head down and worked and try to, win last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, do what we could do to win games last year. And I would say we'll worry about that when it comes, when it gets there. And, we're here now. So I think it worked out pretty well.
Lauren, then Paul.
Hey, guys. First to Josh and then for Daryl. We've watched sort of over the years as it was a rarity to see a Tyrese Maxey jersey in the crowd, to the point where at the end of last season, it was like half of the kids you saw in there, adults wearing number 0. I'm curious what you've observed about Tyrese's impact on this community in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, I think you can just see it up here. I mean, Tyrese is, first of all, he's an NBA All-Star, and every year he gets better. And so he's emerging as one of the league's lead players, so that helps. But beyond that, obviously, he brings an incredible amount of energy and positivity and work ethic and determination. He's a good person. And so that really lifts everyone. It lifts me on the sidelines, just as he runs out. He lifts his teammates, his coaches, and it lifts the fans. So he's doesn't surprise me at all that his jersey is amongst the most popular.
And there was a lot of buzz from the presentation with him in a jersey. So I imagine he'll be top of the sales list again here as well. I think the thing that really
Fanatics is healthy.
I think the thing that really stands out to me about Tyrese is, I've had the luck to be with a lot of great players as he does what they do, which is each offseason challenges himself add something significant, whether that be early on. I know coaches were telling him to get to the rim, and then he's improved his ability to pass. He's improved his defense. So each year he challenges himself, and I think that's the hallmark of a player is going to be one of the all-time greats.
Tyrese, you used to be able to greet everyone that wore your jersey to a game, and now there's almost so many that you can't. So if you were going to send a message to all the folks that wear your jersey, what do you hope that they learn from you?
Yeah, I still try to do my best to at least wave, but it's I'm trying. But yes, I mean, my message to them would just be how grateful I am, honestly. I know growing up, I had a few jerseys that meant a lot to me. I know, especially like I had a D-Wade jersey. I had so many jerseys, and my mom and dad made sure that I had, those type of jerseys. But those meant a lot to me as a kid. So I'll just say thank you. I'll say I appreciate the support, and it doesn't go unnoticed, honestly, because for me, like every time I see somebody with my jersey, it's still crazy. Like in different cities, and not just Philly, not just Dallas, not just Texas in general, like in multiple states, multiple arenas. So I'm very thankful for it. I'm very appreciative of it. It makes me want to go out there, every single night and try to play, every game, and try to go out there and help our team be successful and make those fans proud.
Paul and Kai.
Tyrese, congrats on the deal. You already mentioned you're still a young guy. You focus more on every day getting 1% better, all that. But you have the museum. You see guys like Joel, guys like AI and Dr. J who have built legacies here. Do you sit back at any point and kind of think of that? Think of your legacy here in Philly?
Yeah, I think about it, but I'm so focused and determined on just finding ways to keep going every single day. I know my mom would always tell me sometimes you gotta sit down and decompress and actually think about what's happened, especially this summer, which I have, and I'm extremely grateful for. But in my mind, I'm just so wired to just trying to get better every single day and trying to find ways to help this organization and be successful. So I take those minutes and whatever hour or whatever to think about those things and really appreciate them. And then once that's over, I put that on the back burner, and we're trying to focus on how we're going to get better and how we're going to continue that success.
Hey, what's up, Tyrese? First of all, congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Secondly, just what are your thoughts? Obviously, Paul George is a big addition, but how important are the additions of guys like Andre, Caleb, Eric, bringing back Kyle? How important are having these role players, proven role players, around you as you guys try to make this run?
I think they're extremely important. I'm glad to have all those guys, and we're thankful to have them on this team and this organization. I just start with a guy like Kyle. He was extremely important for our team last year, just because of his experience. He was extremely smart. He was important for me as well. He would always get on me about different things, and I appreciate him for that, because one, Kyle puts in the time, he puts in the work, and he studies and he knows the game. So it's you appreciate guys like that. And then, like you said, the other guys, Martin, Eric, Drum, those guys are, like you said, proven role players. And, I think they all have a lot of things in common, which is, they want to go out there and prove themselves and, build a team and actually go out here and try to do something together and be successful while doing it. So I think, these guys did a great job. So, we have, now it's, on us to go out there and try to perform a bit in jail and, do something together.
That's it. Dave, your Rams next.
Tyrese, congratulations on your new deal. When you got drafted, moments after, you said the Sixers won't regret taking you. How much have you used that mentality as fuel to get to this moment now and beyond?
Yeah, I think I use it as fuel, but the words that I used draft night was genuine. I meant every bit of those words. You know what I mean? I have these bracelets on my arm, that say smile. One says long live Mimi, who is my grandmother who passed away. One says 1% better, and two that say L&D, which means leave no doubt. And those are just kind of some of the mottos and methods that I live by. Most of those came from my dad, who is crazy, but most of those came from him. But he kind of just passed it down to myself, and I appreciate him for that, because without him, a lot of this would be impossible. He was on me from day one about just working out, getting better every single day. Any man that sits an 8-year-old down after a 6-hour drive home from Louisiana and makes him watch 2-3 games of film, that man's a little.
Seems to work pretty well.
Committed. Yeah, you're right.
Props.
Committed. There you go. Committed.
Props to Dad.
Yeah, committed. But no. Like I said, I appreciate him for that though. So like that is where that kind of came from, and that's where the work ethic came from. That's where the determination came from, and it just grew from there. Like now it's just myself. It's just competing and trying to, like I said, make this team better, make myself better, do whatever I have to do to help us be successful.
Two more. Leave her behind you.
First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
So what is the best piece of advice you've heard throughout the contract negotiations and just going into this season?
Ooh. Man, I have a lot of good ones. I think I shout out my parents already. I give you two. One was from Rich. He used this one a lot last year, which was patience and poise. I think that was one. Those are two words that really helped me, because like I said at the beginning, like it's hard being in this business and you work extremely hard for something, and you feel like you deserve something, and you don't get it and you have to wait. But when you understand and you have that patience and you have that poise, it all works out in the long run. And I feel like I said, shout out to these guys because they did a really good job of explaining that to me. And then I have a few brothers that I live by, and they told me last year they came up with this saying, and they used the words 200 for lunch. And it's funny because it just kind of pushed me to work extremely hard. And they used to always just tell me those things in the summertime, man, remember what your goals are, remember what you worked for, remember what you taught us. And I always had those guys with me. So one's in LA working out. He's like, I'm not missing my workouts for your press conference. I'll watch it on Zoom, and one's right here in front of me. So I appreciate them as well.
Any final questions? All right, thank you guys.
All right, we'll do some photos.